Guys, what did I tell you? The government is slowing down XRP just so that they can compete in the same field. But like I told you, XRP will still emerge victorious no matter what the government is trying to do. Today, we will highlight the infamous rumors of the Fed coin, which happens to be the name given to the CBDC, allegedly being launched by the US federal government. I also have more news updates on what is happening with Ripple and XRP. So stay tuned to the end as we give you all these and much more. What's up, guys? Welcome to Money Side, where we let the money do the talking. If you haven't yet already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you get the latest updates on the crypto world. As we all know, news has a high impact on cryptocurrency's price action, so it's always best to be in the know-how. That said, let's get started, shall we? In the last few months, we've had dozens of rumors regarding the launch of CBDCs. But since it's still a pilot study and it's the federal government, most of this news is hard to verify. But we can try and make a little sense into what is allegedly happening. WSJCon tweeted that Fed's financial regulation point man is scheduled to discuss the central bank's digital currency project on Monday. I followed the article link to understand more about the news, and here's what the article published on WSJ.com says. Some Federal Reserve officials are slowly starting to sketch out how a prospective Fed coin might work as the central bank cautiously moves forward with its digital dollar project. Fed policymakers have said a digital dollar could make it faster and cheaper to move money around the financial system, bringing people who lack bank accounts into the financial system, provide an efficient way for the government to distribute financial aid, and even let merchants avoid fees to credit card processors. With that in mind, we are about to witness new crypto in the market. There has been speculation of this happening for years, but now I believe the actualization of this crypto is nearby. Do you know what that means? Less privacy and more taxes in the crypto world. If the government successfully launches this crypto, it will soon get the opportunity to tax cryptocurrency holders and reduce the level of privacy. But that's not the same case that happens with the adoption of XRP and RippleNet. RippleNet and XRP are trying to reduce cross-border transaction fees and also embrace the adoption of CBDC. The SEC is not trying to eliminate XRP, but they are only focused on slowing it down. In other news, John McAfee highlights all the faults of Bitcoin and why you shouldn't invest in it, even though millions of crypto traders still believe in the coin. And I have to agree with him that Bitcoin is old and clunky, which is correct. Now, before my Bitcoin fans bite my head off, listen to me for a second. The coin is royalty, and we can all agree on that. It will also be here to stay for the long term, but nothing essentially can be done to it to make Bitcoin better. I mean, its transaction is extremely slow and there's nothing we can do about it. Don't get me wrong, I do believe in Bitcoin, and it did open up ways for essentially the entire crypto world, but I can't bank my top dollar on it. That's because, for lack of a better word, an overpriced virtual gold. Something that doesn't have any real-life actual value and application creeps me out, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. That said, XRP happens to be at the right place at the right time. And if it all works out, this coin will moon soon and fast. So if you don't own any XRP at the moment, you're losing out on a potential profitable investment opportunity. The coin has been through most of the challenges in the crypto world, making it stronger than ever before. The SEC unknowingly gave this crypto extra publicity, and when the court case is over, everyone in the world will be jumping onto XRP. That could push the coin's price to even $10,000. Yep, I said it, guys. This coin will reach that $10,000 mark and soar even higher, if you ask me. In the ongoing Ripple and SEC lawsuit, we now know that Ripple had scheduled and subpoenaed the former SEC director, William Hinman, to be deposed in the case. The SEC yesterday filed a motion with the court to stop that from happening. This is quite interesting stuff that's happening with the case, since Director Hinman publicly stated that Ethereum was not a security back in 2018. We can see in this tweet from attorney Jeremy One, which says, well, Ripple wants to depose former Director Hinman, and surprise, surprise, the SEC does not want that to happen. The brief itself is mildly interesting, but the more interesting stuff is in the exhibits to the motion. Interesting stuff doing a video sometime tomorrow. Why does the SEC not want that to happen? If we scroll down to the tweet replies, we can see Vander Decken, who says, "The second in command. ... If the judge allows this deposition, the SEC will probably want to settle before it takes place to save the inevitable embarrassment and potentially irreparable damage it could do to their organization's credibility." Well, what's left of it? We can all see it. The SEC is trying their best to fight this from happening, as a lot of dirt will be exposed to the public eye. They want to settle before things go even deeper. Well, on the same note, we can see this tweet from Rule XRP, where he shares a picture of William Henneman's 2018 speech. In the picture it says, "And so when I look at Bitcoin today, I do not see a central third party whose efforts are a key determining factor in the enterprise. The network on which Bitcoin functions is operational and appears to have been decentralized for some time, perhaps from the inception. Applying the disclosure regime of the federal securities laws to the offer and resale of Bitcoin would seem to add little value. And putting aside the fundraising that accompanied the creation of Ether, based on my understanding of the present state of Ether, the Ethereum network, and its decentralized structure, current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions." And as with Bitcoin, applying the disclosure regime of the federal securities laws to current transactions in Ether would seem to add little value. Over time, there may be other sufficiently decentralized networks and systems where regulating the tokens or coins that function on them as securities may not be required. And of course, there will continue to be systems that rely on central actors whose efforts are a key to the success of the enterprise. In those cases, application of the securities laws protects the investors who purchase the tokens or coins. According to an article by Forecast.news, in April, Judge Netburn, referring to the high-stakes litigation, ruled to allow Ripple access to the SEC's internal communications about Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP, saying, "The discovery related to Bitcoin and Ether is relevant. I think it is relevant to the court's eventual analysis concerning the Howey factors. Still, I also think it's relevant to the objective review of defendants' understanding in thinking about the aiding and abetting charge or aiding and abetting count. I also think it is relevant to the fair notice defense that Ripple is raising." After the hearing, she sought clarification from the SEC regarding Hinman's speech and was advised by then SEC counsel Durgan Bliss, who has since left the SEC's employ, that the SEC has not taken an official position. There is no action that it took to say Bitcoin is not a security. Ether is not a security. In a letter to the SEC, Ripple attorney Reed Feigl wrote, "Judge Netburn never predicated Ripple's right to obtain relevant discovery on the success of its fair notice defense. To the contrary, she accepted several other bases to support Ripple's right to discovery of the type of evidence that Ripple seeks from Mr. Hinman. Ripple has the right to seek evidence that tends to show that the SEC either approved or adopted Mr. Hinman's speech," Feigl wrote. "Potentially relevant facts include whether the speech was reviewed or approved by the chair or other commissioners before it was delivered, and the circumstances surrounding the transmission of the speech to Congress," accompanied by a note indicating that it set forth the criteria the SEC uses to determine whether a digital asset is offered or sold as an investment contract. With that in mind, let's take a look at the price action of XRP. Now we are looking at the 4 hours perspective. Ripple co-founder Jed McCaleb has sold a little over 240 million XRP tokens so far this month and still has a balance of over 431 million XRP in his wallet. Paraguay's Universidad Americana will begin accepting cryptocurrencies as payment. Starting in August, General Director Camilo Jimenez Aguro told CoinDesk, Universidad Americana has 17,000 students, 60% of whom study virtually. It plans to accept Bitcoin, Ether, Dash, and XRP as forms of payment. That according to data from XRP's scan. Ghana has 17,000 students, 60% of whom study virtually. It plans to accept Bitcoin, Ether, Dash, and XRP as forms of payment. Technically, XRP made a new low in the structure on Tuesday and then bounced back. The bullish move didn't have momentum and started reversing to the downside. For XRP, as with other big market cap cryptos, we forecast a higher probability for a continuation to the downside. If the price action breaks a red trend line marked on the chart and then consolidates above, then we can take into consideration a move to the upside with more confidence. Always trade with care, guys. Please keep in mind we are not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Tell us what you think in the comments section below, and let's have a conversation. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like this video and to click on that subscribe button below. Turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.